So about a month ago, I showed off a little trick where I did the target range, purposely did awful, but still managed to get out of there with a 0.03 milliseconds. And I did no modding, no skidding, no deep dive into the code. You could do it right here in Garden Warfare. Right here, vanilla. You don't have to really do much of anything. It is only on PC, so do keep that in mind. So if you're like playing on PlayStation, maybe Xbox, this won't work, but on PC this will work. Well, I also guess it depends on hardware. I'll show you why in a sec. So for some reason, the timer in the crazy target range, for some reason it's affected by frame rate. And so if you're running like around 144, 180 FPS, like around there, the timer will speed up. And I would say for every second, it's 2 seconds. That's what it feels like when running that high frame rate in there, which it just makes it impossible. And some people have issues with that. Some people, like, they don't know what's wrong. So that's also something for that as well. This is great way to not only exploit it, but solve it. But for some reason, when you go way above the threshold of the frame rate, say like around maybe kind of 200, 300, like around there, or fucking hell higher, it goes so fast that it actually slows down the timer. And I don't know why it does this. I think it has something to do with the code is so high up with the frame rate counter for the code for the timer that it goes into the negatives. It could be a many amount of things. That's just my guess. So right now I would say I'm at an average of 400, near 500, like 480 FPS. I am purposely, for this video, having my settings dulled down a ton. Like I usually play in 2K with like 2K 1440p with an ambient accelerator on. But I'm having none, and I'm having my resolution to 1080. When you start it up of around this frame rate, or it could just be 300, maybe a mid 200, the timer will just stop. And it will gradually count up. It would just take forever. So I can just take my time, you know. I don't have to be skillful. Don't have to practice. I can be as slow as I want. I can miss if I want to. Either way, just eventually down the line, when I eventually complete it, boom, it's done. 0 seconds, baby. Let's go. Now, this isn't the only thing that is easily exploited with frame rate. The delivery minigames as well is also affected by frame rate. I do suggest having a little bit more frame rate, like just stalling your settings a little bit more, because since the delivery minigame is up here and a lot of things are happening up here, when you're down the target range, you're in a small room where nothing's really happening, you know, which is why now I'm around 300, like almost 30. So if you have to, definitely dull it down some more. Like lower your resolution, lower your graphic settings, etc. The timer on this also breaks because the timer that counts for your rewards is affected by frame rate. Like you have the timer, which is the blue flag. Why not blue flag? You have the timer that's above. That's like regular time that counts down, but the timer underneath the flag is counting up for your total time at the end. Now, I think the reason for that is I think timers in this game, if they're keeping a time on or if counting up, they're affected by frame rate. But timers that are counting down aren't. I do not know the reasoning for this, and is actually really interesting. And so if you're also having troubles with this, you can also use it. I don't know why it didn't show up a rank. I can assure you, I abused the hell out of this when I first did it and found it out. Should work. But, yeah, that's the exploit. Dependent on your PC, I think it should be easy to do. I mean, if you have a laptop, maybe you'll have some difficulties. But when I first discovered this, when I had my other PC, I had a 3060 and a Ryzen 5 5500. And if I would purposely like lower the settings to get around maybe 300, maybe a high 200, maybe 200 mid, maybe just 200 general, I remembered exploiting a lot of the target range when doing that. You obviously can't do this on console because mainly consoles don't, run at 60. The Xbox does have a 120 option, but it's different, and the reason why it's different is because the Xbox version of Garden Warfare runs with frame generation. That's a built-in thing in the console. Then, like how I'm doing the game, where I'm going in the settings and turning it on. It's like through a regular, of the game, it turning into RAM and not really. I don't know, it's really complicated. It's just the frame rate that the Xbox does is different from what the PC does. And if you're having any trouble on PC Garden Warfare, where it's like, oh my god, the timers are so fast, maybe lower your frame rate, or hell, just make it as high as near 300, 200, and you won't have to worry about time ever again in those. So that's all I really wanted to talk about. So everyone knows about this. I think I might be the first person that came across this glitch. I've never heard anyone talk about this. And I think it's really goddamn OP. Like for doing S plus quest, just getting S plus in general. That and trying to S rank the delivery minigames, because those can be a pain in the fucking ass. I hope you guys enjoyed. I've been knowing about this glitch for a little while now, and I'm glad I'm able to finally showcase it. I hope this helps you with the target range and the delivery minigames, and I hope you guys have a good day.